Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of our Lion Fight Zoom chats. Justin Kwan at the controls. I am co-hostless this week, but we don't need a co-host when we've got Jake Peacock along for the ride, right?
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure, Jake. You're certainly by far one of our most popular fighters. Everybody is always asking when you're going to be fighting next. And for those who don't know yet, it's coming up because you are going to be the co-main event on Sunday, August the 22nd, live from Glasgow, Scotland, as you take on Federico Alfaro for the Lion Fight inaugural European Super Welterweight Championship. You're becoming maybe a bit of a belt collector. Like it was like 3 months ago, you just won the North American Super Welterweight belt. Now you got to go after that European one. Thanks to mom and dad for being for raising you in the UK, right?
Yeah, no, that's great. The European connection is fantastic. And as far as the belts, I mean, they're being offered. I'll take them. At the end of the day, I just love to fight, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to fight at a high level and a great promotion. So if there's belts in the way, I will collect them. If there weren't belts, I'd still do it with the same joy.
Do you think that we don't want to look ahead too much? Because obviously you got a tough opponent, coming at you in a week or so. But does the world title belt kind of start entering the back of your mind now in terms of like if I get the North American and the European, there's only one left, and that's the big one.
For sure. I mean, a world title would be amazing. It'd be an incredible opportunity. I mean, I know Fabio Pinca currently has it, and I mean that name itself just speaks a thousand words, right? And he's one of my favorite fighters of all time. Whether I'd in the future end up fighting him or it would be someone else, to have the Lion Fight World Title belt would be an absolute once in a lifetime thing. So it'd be incredible.
Let's talk about that whole UK connection for you. It's been great because you've gone over to Dublin. You were incredibly successful over there. Now you've got the Scotland fight coming up, potentially a fight in England coming up before the end of the year. Uh, do you relish the opportunities to kind of go quote unquote back home to fight?
Yeah, I mean, it's been fantastic getting to go overseas again. I've got lots of family connections there. Well, all my family's there apart from my immediate family, friends. So I've got tons of friends coming up from London to the Scotland fight. My uncle's actually going to be walking me to the ring. He's Scottish. He's going to be walking me to the ring in a kilt. So we're going to have a good time there. So it's just great to be around my. I feel like that's home, right? I am a Canadian citizen, but I will always be British at heart, and all my family's there. So that's where my home is truly.
Let's take the family part and the friends part out of it for you. What do you notice the difference in fan bases in the live crowds compared to say maybe fighting in you fought in Las Vegas 2 or 3 times already. You fought in the Midwest, but talk about the difference between those locations compared to a fight crowd in Dublin or what you expect in
Sure,
Glasgow.
sure. I don't think anything will ever be as crazy as my first lion fight experience. I mean, it was the best memory ever. Not just the fight itself, but the weekend leading up to it, the promotional stuff. The crowd was absolutely wired that night. It was just amazing. It was a great atmosphere, great venue as well at the Hard Rock Casino um, at the Joint. It was fantastic. But as far as like a good crowd goes, like the European fans, the Irish were just crazy. It was brilliant. The energy that the Irish fans brought, I would go back to Ireland and fight in a heartbeat. And the English are the same. Going to England, sorry, fighting in England or fighting in Scotland. They're great fans. They're hardcore Muay Thai enthusiasts and fight enthusiasts. So it's just a fantastic time fighting in front of crowds like that.
Is there any extra pressure? Again, let's take maybe the family and friends aspect out of it. But is there any extra pressure when under your win-loss column, there's a zero under that L, and also on top of that, you've hit 4 for 4 when it comes for knockouts, when it comes to knockouts in Lion Fight. Is there added pressure going into a fight that not only am I looking to stay undefeated, but I'm looking to finish in style?
Yeah, I mean, there's always pressure to some degree. I have to remind myself why I do this though, and I enjoy it, and I've been gifted with a skill to use for God's glory. So at the end of the day, I think if I remind myself of that, the pressure lifts a little bit and I can go out there and enjoy myself. Pressure's good though. Like I can perform well under pressure, and like pressure, creates diamonds and fire refines gold. So a little bit of pressure is good, and I think it's right. But I'll be ready under the pressure.
I want to ask you about a couple of the other fights on the card. I know you'll obviously be preparing for your own fight, but it's got to be kind of cool in a way when you're part of a card that's featuring Amy Pierney in a world title fight in her hometown, and then the really anticipated return of Jarena Bars. Those pretty cool fights to be part of.
Those female fighters, they are hardcore. They're some of the best around to do it, right? They're just incredible highlights. Some of them have got fantastic skill from both of them. So it's an honor to be on the card with them. And then as well, Craig Coakley, who I've loved for years. Like he's awesome. To fight on the same card as him is fantastic too. It'd be good to meet him. So yes, it's a really, really good card.
What do you like about Craig Coakley? Because he, like you, is fighting for an inaugural European Championship on that same event. Maybe can you tell us from your perspective what you see in Craig Coakley, what you like about him? Because he's going to be a new guy when it comes to the stated lion fight fans.
Yeah, sure. Craig is just so diverse. He'll hit you with anything and everything from any angle, in any situation. He'll kick you, punch you, knee you, elbow you. It's the art of 8 limbs, and he uses them really, really well. He's relaxed. He's calm. He's just a true classy performer. I really enjoy watching him, and he's performed extremely well against high level Thais. I think he's an absolute class act when it comes to Muay Thai.
That's going to be awesome. I'm really excited to see him.
Great.
Getting that rave review from you, that means a lot. So I think that's going to be fun to see him. Like we talked about, undefeated, and you've got the knockout string going. What are you working on in camp? Is nobody's ever perfect, and you said yourself, after the last couple of fights, I want to do this better, I want to do that better. What are you working on now to improve yourself?
Yeah, always when I come away from a fight, I always work on my strengths, but work on my weaknesses 100%. And I spend a lot of time thinking about what I need to do. I'm pretty honest with myself, how I need to improve and what I need to improve on, because I don't want to get caught slipping. And I'm working all around right now. We won't get into specifics, but I've done the work. I've put in the work. I've not skipped anything, not cut any corners. I am really new and improved, and it's going to be a great fight.
Has being a dad changed your game plan at all? As far as when you get up and when you get up and get to work in the morning?
Yeah, sure, a little bit. My wife's incredible though. Like as soon as I get close to fights and stuff, she's just so helpful. Like she'll get up with Charlie if I need to sleep in, or if it's my turn to get up with him, like she'll just take the initiative to get up with him in the night, or try and keep him quiet in the night and get up with him early. So she's fantastic. So it has changed a little bit. Like maybe I get a little less sleep, but I feel amazing. And Krista's really made that smooth for me.
Awesome. And I know you are not only one of our big stars in Lion Fight, you're a fan of Lion Fight. You usually get a chance to watch all of the events. Definitely. I want to take you back a couple of weeks when we started this whole 3 shows in 28 days system or format kind of thing. Take me back to the fight card in Italy, and I want your perspective on the situation that happened with Chip Miraza-Pollard losing his title to Jacob Benko.
Yes, that was man. That guy's big.
He's the definition of long and lanky, right?
Huge. I just couldn't believe it. Massive. I'm trying to think back to the fight. I like Chip. Chip's really, again, when you call it the art of 8 limbs, he uses all of them. He uses 9 limbs. I don't know what the 9th limb is, but he finds it. I don't know. Like he's very dynamic, very diverse with his striking. So I love watching him. Did he do enough? I don't know. It was a split decision, yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
Like usually, like you have to potentially win convincingly against the current champ. I mean, under Muay Thai scoring, it was such a tough one to score. And yeah. I'm trying to think back to it, but it was a great fight. I honestly thought Chip was going to finish him off a couple times in the fight when he wobbled him. But I think Chip didn't pull the trigger. I think he needed to pull the trigger in a couple areas. And that happens. Like sometimes you can't pull the trigger. You're maybe too tentative. And props to Jacob. He was great. He put on a good game plan and killer knees.
The long knees.
Great long knees. Fantastic. So he did well, and he won the belt, took it off the champ. So.
How good is Enrico Carrera?
Oh, awesome. Top class.
First of all, ring entrance of the year.
Yeah.
and then he goes out and has a great performance too.
Yeah, great performance.
Last one I want to ask you about with the whole 3 shows in 28 days. Your pick when it comes down to the North American heavyweight title tournament final. Bazooka Joe Stripling, Warren Destroyer Thompson. Who's your $5 on?
Oh man,
it's close, isn't it? Because you like one thing about one guy, and
they're both fantastic. Honestly, I know I'm saying quite a few fights are fantastic here, but they're both incredible. And for their size as well, they move like they move like cruiserweights. They're even lighter. It's just phenomenal. I like them both, and I like them both personally. As people, I'm gonna have to say Bazooka Joe though.
Okay, interesting. It's so Joe's an amazing athlete in his own way, because he looks like he's not an athlete.
Yeah.
But he does all that. I mean, he's just a freak.
He blew me away. He absolutely it was sick. His Muay Thai was sick. I just loved it. It was great. And his cardio and oh man, yeah, it was awesome. I
just love the two of them too, because Bazooka Joe has that, he looks like your neighbor, kind of thing that'll go for a pint with you afterwards.
Yeah.
Watch
Warren, even Warren, you look at Warren. Yeah. And he's jacked out of his mind. And when I saw him, I'm thinking how is this guy going to have the endurance to go over one round? His shoulders are going to jam up. How can this guy move? Sure enough, he's explosive. He's athletic. He had great endurance, great skill, great technique. Great. Absolutely brilliant.
And he's such a character too. He's such a character too.
Yeah, both of them are great characters.
And the male version of Daisy Dukes and all that. Either way, it's going to be fun, right?
It's a great fight, yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, Jake, thank you so much for your time as always. You're a class act, 100%. We're looking forward to seeing you against Federico Alfaro on August 22nd, live from Glasgow on UFC Fight Pass. Good luck in that European title fight. And we will hopefully see you in person very soon. It's always a joy to be around you.
Awesome. Thanks, Scott.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon on another one of our Lion Fight Zoom chats.